Discover a new, in-depth approach to book coverage with this extended summary. Unlike our previous review, which is more of a focused analysis, this feature delivers a really comprehensive overview. We'll be tracing the intellectual roots, key arguments, and the real-world impact of this subject. If you appreciate this expanded format, let us know. Your feedback really does help shape future content. Okay, we are jumping right into a high-stakes world today. Let's start with a really agonizing premise.
Go on.
Imagine a man trapped in a secret Iranian prison for 3 years. He's been systematically broken down through torture, through relentless psychological pressure.
Right.
Until his interrogator demands he write his full confession, every single covert action he ever took. But he has to do it using only crayon and paper.
Wow. Crayon and paper.
Yeah. So the question is, what secrets is this man being forced to reveal? And maybe more importantly, what vital secret is he still desperately trying to hide, knowing he might never leave that room alive?
That image, that confession with a crayon, it's the driving mechanism of David McCloskey's The Persian. And you can just feel the author's background on every page. He's a former CIA analyst.
Ah, that makes sense.
It does. This isn't some fantasy spy story. It's a modern, high-stakes thriller, and it blends extremely realistic tradecraft. I mean, the kind of details only an insider would know, with this just relentless psychological tension.
So our mission for this deep dive is to unpack the intellectual roots of this thriller. We'll trace the key arguments about modern covert ops and what drives the people who get caught up in them.
Right, and the real-world impact of it all.
Exactly. We'll focus only on the progression revealed in the summaries, avoiding any final twists. We're peeling back the layers, not spoiling the ending.
And just a quick note before we get into it. You are experiencing a unique two-host AI conversation powered by Google's Notebook LM for deeper, more dynamic book summaries.
Okay, let's unpack this. We begin with the central figure, Kamran Esfahani. Kam, as he's called. And when we meet him, he is so far from a super spy. He's a not very successful Persian Jewish dentist living in Stockholm.
Just completely adrift. His professional life is stagnant, his personal life is stagnant, and what's so interesting is that sense of displacement.
Yeah, he's disconnected from everything.
From his Iranian heritage, from his Jewish identity, he has no real allegiance, which is precisely what makes him so vulnerable.
And that's the key to his recruitment, right?
It's everything. His handler, Glitzman, he targets that rootlessness. Cam's motivation is, it's purely transactional at the start. He's not driven by ideology.
Not patriotism for Israel or anything like that.
Not at all. He's reluctant, he's fearful, and he's primarily motivated by the promise of cold, hard cash.
For what?
To finance a dream. He wants to start over, completely fresh, in California. That financial incentive is the lever Glitzman uses to start his downfall.
So we have this perfect reluctant asset, and he's approached by a man named Glitzman.
And Glitzman is not just some field officer.
No. He's the chief of a covert Israeli unit that operates way outside the usual structures. Their whole purpose is brutal and specific.
Targeted assassinations. Complex sabotage operations deep inside Iran.
And Glitzman isn't just a contact. He's the handler, the strategist, the manipulator, all rolled into one. He sees Kam as a tool, plain and simple.
It's fascinating how quickly the book establishes the rules for this shadow war.
The setting stands everywhere. Tehran, Tel Aviv,
Right.
Istanbul, Stockholm.
Right, and these aren't just backdrops. They immediately place the story in our present-day geopolitical reality, in that constant covert conflict between Israel and Iran. This is a war fought in intelligence offices and anonymous safe houses.
With assets like Kam.
Exactly, disposable assets. The environment itself is a character, constantly signaling danger.
And Glitzman uses Kam's professional identity so perfectly. Kam returns to Tehran, his home city, with this seemingly innocent cover story.
He's just opening a new dental practice.
Exactly. But that clinic isn't just a business. It's immediately converted into a central operational hub for the whole team.
Oh, it's a brilliant cover. Think about it. People come and go, they expect privacy, they're often uncomfortable or a little sedated.
And no one would question high-tech equipment deliveries.
Or strange supply shipments. It's the ultimate false front.
The tradecraft here is so detailed. This is where you really feel that CIA background. Kam's involvement it escalates step by step.
It tracks the increasing pressure Glitzman is putting on him. He starts with simple logistics, right? Setting up secure comms in the clinic.
And then it moves to much higher stakes actions. We see him smuggling specialized electronic components.
Or even weapon parts, hiding them inside what looks like a legitimate medical supply shipment.
And the risks become horrifyingly direct. He's not just moving boxes around.
Yeah.
He's arranging complex logistics inside the country. He's surveilling high-value targets for assassination. And then he's actually participating in kidnappings against the Iranian security apparatus.
And the book focuses so heavily on that operational detail, how a dead drop works, how you manage a rendezvous in a hostile city. It just feels so authentic.
It does. It really does.
And that authenticity is crucial because it jacks up the psychological stakes. And because the whole story is framed by that confession he's writing.
Right, in the prison.
You experience two different kinds of tension at the same time. Com recounts each mission, the technical details, the risk. But we, the reader, know he's writing this while imprisoned by the very people he was targeting.
So you're constantly wondering which one of these missions was the one that got him caught.
Exactly. The long-term outcomes are kept deliberately vague. It's a brilliant structural choice.
It transforms the narrative from just a spy thriller into this psychological interrogation of memory and consequence.
Yeah, and managing that intricate web of operational details, character arcs, shifting timelines, it's a huge challenge for any author.
Absolutely.
And speaking of detailed analysis and the kind of structural insight that authors need, this is probably a good moment to mention Mindful Moments. That's our YouTube channel. It offers AI book analysis, summaries, critiques, really inspiring reflection and rational thought.
And it's incredibly valuable for aspiring authors who want to understand how to build a story with this level of complexity. Okay, so let's pick up the thread. Com's career is escalating, and then we hit the critical pivot. The one operation that goes wrong.
The one that leads directly to his capture.
It involves an attempt to recruit a new asset. A very specific one. An Iranian widow. Her backstory is highly sensitive.
Her husband was killed in a prior Mossad operation.
Right, and she appears to want revenge against the regime, which makes her seem like this perfect, high-value asset for Glitzman's team.
Well, in the world of espionage, perfect usually means it's about to go very, very wrong.
And it does.
He attempts this high-level recruitment, and the operation goes, as the book says, disastrously wrong. This isn't just a small leak, it's catastrophic.
It blows his cover.
Immediately. And it exposes huge parts of the local network he helped build. This failure is the direct, irreversible reason he gets arrested.
And the consequences are swift. He's picked up by Iranian security and just disappears into a secret detention site. We learn he's held for about 3 years.
3 years.
Enduring intense pressure, both psychological and physical, under the authority of this singular, brutal figure known only as the General.
The general is more than just a jailer. He is the embodiment of the regime's ruthless counterintelligence. He's a sadistic security officer in command of this black site, and his goal isn't just information, it's total dominance.
And he's the one who demands the final confession.
Yes. The entire present tense part of the novel is Com, sitting in that room, writing out his life story for the man who controls his fate.
And that confession is meticulous. It covers his entire career as a spy, how Glitzman found him in Stockholm, the manipulation.
The phases of his work in Tehran, his relationships with different assets.
And the exact chain of events that led to that disastrous failure with the widow. It's his life, written down as evidence against himself.
But here's where it gets so compelling. Even though Com is suffering, even though he thinks it's too late to save himself, that confession isn't a total surrender.
What do you mean?
He's hinting to the reader that he has managed to keep one crucial secret hidden from the general. His detailed confession is, it's a coded attempt to protect that one last thing.
So it's both a testament to his downfall and a final desperate act of defiance.
Exactly that.
And that ties directly into the complex things McCloskey is exploring. Com is a man torn between his Persian roots and his Jewish identity.
Now forced into a violent conflict against his birthplace on behalf of a country he barely knows. He's navigating exile, this unwilling return, and these conflicting allegiances that define his survival.
He's the ultimate outsider.
In every sense. By using his Iranian background for an Israeli operation against Iran, he ensures he can't belong anywhere. He's a disposable asset to both sides. It raises that question. Where does loyalty even lie when your identity is a hybrid of warring parties?
If we connect that back to the operational side, the physical settings become these powerful symbols. The dental clinic, the faith houses, the interrogation room.
They all serve dual purposes.
Right. When Com is free, they're tools of espionage. But once he's captured, they become instruments of coercion. The environment that enabled his work now confines his failure.
And that structural choice, using the interrogation as the mainframe, is just genius. It constantly shifts between the general's pressure and the detailed past missions.
It keeps the reader right there with Calm in his on-the-ground, desperate perspective.
You don't get some broad political analysis. You get the raw human experience of the Shadow War.
The overall impact is a story that tackles these universal, brutal themes: vengeance, deceit, loyalty, the devastating cost of espionage.
It's relentless. But even with all that darkness, the narrative finds these small moments to touch on love and forgiveness. Things Calm is desperately trying to preserve.
The style is just so realistic, praised for its detailed tradecraft and these incredibly emotionally charged sequences. So we come back to that central question that anchors the whole book. Calm is alone in that room, writing his life story with a crayon. Can a person who's forced to detail every failure and every betrayal truly surrender everything?
Or does the human spirit always reserve one last piece of defiance?
One crucial secret, even when facing death.
Thank you for exploring this in-depth summary with us. The Persian is really a masterclass in the psychological realism of modern espionage. We highly encourage you to investigate it further to discover how Calm manages to protect that final vital secret and what it truly costs him.
Click the link on screen to subscribe, share, purchase via link, and think rationally.
See the many genre-based book podcasts at Mindful Moments. Subscribe and nourish your mind on the go.